pressure, so he says. Take a listen.
I don't really feel pressure. I feel like, pressure is given to those who play at a high level, and the best players in the world are the ones that you are kind of involved with that word pressure. Yeah, you just got to make sure that you're prepared every day because just the questions and the situations that are being put on the quarterback. When you're watching film, you got to know exactly what you're talking about. You got to be on your, point blank period. So.
Usually I don't like going to you first, but I'll do it again because you are the resident quarterback on the panel this morning. How much pressure is on Dart to ball out right away?
A ton. He's got to be the savior. He's got to save the general manager. He's got to save the organization. Giants have been a laughingstock for the better part of 10 years. They took him in the first round. Go back to draft night, and Brian Daboll saying to him, like, I'm trusting you, like, you're my guy. Dart's got to be the guy that saves the job. And I think that's the challenge is we all know this business. Everybody knows that the expectations are high and coaches have to win. It's not, I've heard people say, well, he's got to play well to save his job. No, he doesn't. He has to play well and win. They're not going to keep Brian Daboll if Jackson Dart looks good. He has to look good, and they're going to have to find a way to sniff 500 football in the next 14 weeks. So there's a ton of pressure on him to outperform a Mitchell Trubisky with John Fox, a Will Levis with a Mike Vrabel, a Jared Goff with a Jeff Fox.
Yes.
Like there is a ton of pressure on him to go play well.
Mina?
I think the fact that they made this move so early adds to that pressure. Like if this was week 10, week 12, and they were doing it and people weren't watching the Giants as much, and it was like, well, we really tried with Russell Wilson, but this move now does increase the pressure to win. And like I can say to you, hey, let's all be reasonable. It's not a good offensive line. Andrew Thomas is back, coming back from injury. Yeah. The offense is flawed. They're going up against the Chargers, who are one of the past defense. But that's just not how it works in the NFL. There is pressure to win. From my perspective, what I would want to see, just that he looks prepared and doesn't panic this week, and then he balls out against the Saints. That would be the expectation. Any expectation of him going crazy against the Chargers, I think, is unfair. But he should look prepared. That's what you want to see.
I love Jackson Dart's demeanor. I think Jackson Dart is incredibly talented as well. And you can see that this moment, at least it doesn't feel too big for him. But I don't think he has any pressure on him. Can't nobody else that play quarterback? Right? Like we know now, and I love Russell Wilson, we know now that Russell Wilson isn't the answer. And if you continue to play Russell Wilson, you're going to lose your best player in Malik Neighbors, right? So you have to figure out a way to try to say, how do we salvage that relationship? How do we make one of the most talented players in the world show those things with the process and the progress and the production on Sundays, right? You got to do that part. What he said, they finna get the ball to one, right? They gonna figure that out. And the other piece of it is, to me, like, it ain't his job to go save Brian Daboll's job. It ain't his job to go save the organization. It's Jackson Dart's job to go be the best Jackson Dart.
Yeah, but that's not real.
But the other piece of it is too, though, like from us, we got to be responsible the way Mina's talking about being responsible with who they play this week. And like, also, can I invoke a new rule? Please.
That's a big deal.
Okay.
That I'm allowing you to invoke a rule.
Much.
You should be thankful.
Wait to hear it.
You're right. Go ahead.
Let's stop saying that Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers waited to play. Let's stop comparing.
I'm with you on this.
Let's stop comparing quarterback. Because you know what?
Or Jordan Love.
Had they played early, them motor scooters still would have been really good because they're extremely talented and they were in good position.
Also, the quarterbacks who did play were great. People always forget that. Alex Smith was excellent that season. Everyone forgets that. That is not what is going on.
Right, and so I hate that. Like, the other piece of it is too, like, maybe compare him to Eli. He played behind Kurt Warner. Maybe compare him to Phillip Rivers, who played behind Drew Brees. But like, let's stop using those dudes as the benchmark for why people should sit. Maybe Jackson Dart should be playing.
Let me say this before you chime back in, Dan. First of all, this is their fifth different starting quarterback since last season. Let's get that out of the way to show you what kind of chaos exists with the New York Giants. Secondly, as I reminded the world just yesterday, I don't know why I have to keep reminding them of this. Since the Giants won the Super Bowl in 2011, they've been to the playoffs twice. They've had a winning record 3 times. That is horrible. This is a horrible, horrible organization right now. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Don't look at me like that, RC. It's just the truth, okay? They're not good. They're not good. So now here we are with Jackson Dart, right? Hold on. Here we are with Jackson Dart, right?
From my point.
Ryan is absolutely right. that it's not his job to save Brian Dable's job. Here's what I will tell you his job is, though. It is to do, to some degree, what Mina pointed out. To go out there, play well. Against the Saints, you should be able to look relatively decent. Chargers, maybe not so much. It would be nice if he does this. Here's the thing. If you go out there and you're good enough to give hope, because that's what this is all about right now. This is week 4.
It's not going to save his job.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, from an organizational perspective, you haven't given the crowd anything to cheer about. They're going to start wearing bags soon. I know New York, even though it's East Rutherford, New Jersey, the swamp. It's close enough. I know New York.
But what's the point of saying that?
They're going to start wearing bags over their head. You're going to see. It's not an accident that half the fans in MetLife Stadium were from Kansas City. People got other things to do rather than walk out and see trash. They're not going to do it. But that's what he has to make sure he doesn't provide.
No. Guys, we all know how this league works, man.
Okay.
Him going out and looking good is not going to change the outlook of the organization of the future when it comes to the job of the general manager and head coach. I love Brian Dable. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
They got to win. Eli started halfway through the season. Eli went 4-4. Okay, here's my pushback to the whole, it's not his job to save his job. I understand that. We both know it's real. All of us know that the head coach and his future is directly tied to, can you get that young man to play good and can you win football games? And I totally disagree that there's not an expectation that he can go revitalize and save the organization. It just happened last year in the division. If we're going to sit here and say the Giants have been a joke over the last 10 years, so is the Washington one until Jayden Daniels got there, and now they got new stadiums, and now they got people to go there. Shoot, I'll go 5 or 6 years ago to Cleveland. That was the worst North American professional sports league or team in the North America. They draft Baker Mayfield. All of a sudden, there's hope. So we do have evidence that these young quarterbacks can flip bad places, and there's expectation that you should.
Go ahead.
Nobody sees him like that, though, right? Like when you yourself, and I trust you in analyzing and evaluating quarterbacks more than anybody. You thought Jayden Daniels was like that.
You really do trust Dan like that? I don't trust his objectivity. They can't trust him.
If it's not Matthew Stafford, he's
that's
straight.
what I'm talking about. That's where I was going.
If it's not Matthew Stafford, he's straight. You can't trust him when it comes to Matthew Stafford.
Okay. You
knew Jayden Daniels was like that.
Yes.
We felt Baker Mayfield was like that. We were having conversations about whether or not Jackson Dart would be a first-round pick. Would somebody move back up and get him? Jackson Dart is not the savior. And I think that's the – and the other thing is this. Here's what, to me, he has on his side that's different than what Caleb has, different than what Jayden has, right? Different than what these guys who go early have. We got to see that they're terrible.
Yeah.
A lot of times they start week 1 and you're expecting them to be that lift right away. We know they can't play.
Yeah.
He's a first rounder, Ryan. We can intellectually say, okay, the top of the draft success rate versus the bottom half of the first round is dramatic. It's honestly very rare for quarterbacks taken late in the first round to have success.
Yeah.
We can say that. We can intellectualize
Lamar's
it.
like the outlier.
That's not how teams think. That's not how fans think.
Yeah.
He is a first-round quarterback, and the expectation is he has to come in and win games. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying.
I'll give you the last word on this. Make it quick. Don't be long-winded. Go ahead.
I thought Jackson Dart should have been a top 10 pick. I actually thought that the New Orleans Saints should have taken him at 9. If he doesn't play
Bye.